We're going to take a look at the Rolex market as it stands moving into July 2024. I'm going to focus specifically on the trends and price action happening within the Rolex model lineup on the secondary market. As part of the prep for these updates, I speak to the buying and selling teams here at WatchTrader & Co, so I can bring you real market insights based on recent buys and sells from an active dealer in the UK with an international customer base. First, I'd like to outline the scope of this video regarding the watches mentioned and their prices. If you want to skip this part and jump straight into the market update, jump to the time on screen. I want you to be aware that the prices in this video are subject to change because of market conditions and dealer stock levels. Let's take the Rolex Explorer 2 with a black dial. Imagine a dealer states that they will buy a 2024 full set for £7,500. One of you decides to sell it, and the dealer now has one in stock. If another 5 people call up that week and want to sell the same model at $7,500, it wouldn't make sense for the dealer to stock an additional 5 identical watches at the same price. Consequently, their offer price will vary based on stock levels. From a business perspective, they would rather allocate funds to diversify their inventory to better serve customers looking for a variety of different models. Market prices as well as dealer inventory can change relatively fast, so take that into consideration and use it to your advantage when looking to sell your watch to a dealer. Just a quick one regarding terminology such as retail price, list price, and market price and what they mean. Retail price, RRP, or list price all refer to the official pricing set by Rolex at an authorized dealer. Market price is referring to the pre-owned price, which may be above or below the retail price and is determined by supply and demand in the market. All of the models that I'll cover today are current production watches. There's a lot of variety, but if there's a model that's not included, it may have been covered in the previous update, and I'll link that here. If not, drop it in the comments and we'll look to feature it in the future. The GMT-Master II Bruce Wayne in steel has recently hit the market. The black and grey bezel with the green GMT hand gives us a new version of an already popular model. The Jubilee bracelet version is the one that the majority of you guys prefer, and it has a market price from around £18,500. However, you can save around £1,000 by choosing the Oyster bracelet. In the last month, we had one in at WatchTrader and it was on the Jubilee. It was only in the store for one day before it was purchased. I do expect the prices on these to come down over the next few months as more supply enters the market, but right now, dealers are buying and selling above the retail price. The best value current production GMT-Master II in the market is the 126710 BLNR on the Oyster bracelet, otherwise known as the Batman. It's a popular watch and the black and blue bezel has now been out for over 10 years. The retail price is £9,350 and dealers still will offer you a small profit on this watch and then look to sell it on from around £13,500 for a 2024 Unworn example. You'll pay around £500 more to get one on a Jubilee bracelet, so this option has a higher price at retail and in the pre-owned market. The Pepsi is still holding strong with prices similar to last month. You'll find the Oyster from around £17,450 and the Jubilee for around £1,000 more, maintaining the market preference for the Jubilee bracelet. The watch seems to be on everyone's wish list and continues to be one of the hardest models to purchase brand new from an AD. But steel isn't your only option for a blue and red bezel. You might be interested in the 2 white gold variations with a blue or meteorite dial. The RRP is £37,000 and £39,000 respectively. There are very few 2024 examples of these watches in the market for a few reasons. With the blue, it's a watch that you would lose money on if you were to sell it to a dealer. The meteorite, on the other hand, does sell for a premium in the mid-40s, but it's difficult to obtain from an AD, and I think the relatively small profit in the watch, alongside the rarity of the meteorite dial, results in collectors keeping that watch when they get the opportunity to buy it from an AD. The Sprite with the black and green bezel and unique left-hand crown is another watch that hasn't seen any major price movement. The Oyster can be found from around £14,950 and the Jubilee for about £1,000 more. One of the best looking GMTs in my opinion is the 126710 GRNR, known as the Guinness, but some people call it the Zombie. This is a two-tone model that came out in 2023, so it's still relatively new, but the price is slowly coming down on these. The full yellow gold GRNR is even more stunning than the two-tone version. The weight, the full gold jubilee, and the colour combination is just incredible. As of the second Rolex retail price of 2024, it's coming in at £35,400, and whilst it's a beautiful watch, it's one that can be found for less than list price in the market. So you will lose money if you try and sell that watch to a dealer. Moving on to the Yacht-Master 40 in steel with the platinum bezel and slate dial. This watch has a retail price of £10,500 and 2024 examples can be found in the market from around £12,000. The blue dial sells for around £500 less as it's not quite as popular. Neither of these watches can be sold to a dealer for more money than you'll pay for them if you can get one brand new. This brings us to the steel and rose models, and here you can get a matte black dial, which is quite unusual in the modern Rolex catalogue. There's also a sunray finish chocolate dial that you'll only find on watches that use rose gold. Both dials have an RRP of £14,500, but you'll actually find very few examples from 2024 in the market. And again, that's likely because there's no profit in the watch for those immediately looking to sell. If you do find a 2024 example, they tend to be around list price, with the chocolate dial commanding a small premium over the black dial version. When it comes to the Oyster Flex models, they are available in yellow, white and rose gold, and all of them feature a black dial. However, on the rose gold, the dial is matte as opposed to the gloss on the other two. The rose also measures smaller at 40mm as opposed to the 42mm case that you'll find on the yellow and white gold versions. All of these models are available to purchase under retail price. However, once again, there are very few 2024 examples available because you're going to lose thousands of pounds if you try to sell a brand new piece to a dealer. The biggest drop can be seen in the white gold version, which trades for the least on the pre-owned market. The appetite for the Oyster Flex Yacht-Master models is not so strong at the moment. However, there are some good deals to be had if you look for 1 or 2 year old examples in the market. But a model that is strong both in the metal and in the market price is the 42mm titanium reference. This was released in 2023 and has a retail price of £12,350, but the market values it at around £29,500. These are very limited in numbers and require an excellent AD relationship and a lot of luck to obtain one at retail price. I think this watch is more of a marketing exercise for Rolex because it's being treated as an ultra-rare status piece that very few people can get their hands on. But if you look at the watch itself and where it sits in the model lineup, it's actually very toolish, with its mostly matte finishing and titanium material choice. We have had one in our shop at Watch Trader and it's noticeably lighter than a steel sports model, which I think would take some getting used to on the wrist. But that is a very niche problem for very few people at this point in time. Let's take a look at the Air King. This is one of the entry-level professional models and it comes in a single configuration with a brushed oyster bracelet and a distinctive dial. The retail price is £6,500 and it does sell for over the list price in the pre-owned market from around £7,500. As it stands, dealers will pay around or slightly less than the list price for this watch. I prefer the case design and dial upgrades on this version over the previous one, but I will say that the model as a whole is a bit of a Marmite watch. People either love it or they hate it. Looking at the Skydweller in steel, it's the blue and the mint dials that come out on top, and again it's the Jubilee bracelet that's the most popular. The mint dial currently carries the largest premium with a market price from around £21,000. But I would predict that over time it will end up at a similar level to the blue that's available from around £19,000. The black tends to outperform the white dial, but there aren't so many of them in the market and they don't move very fast. So these watches will only be worth around the list price to a watch dealer. If you're interested in the steel and gold version, you'll find very few 2024 pieces available to buy in the market. The reason for this is that there is no profit to be had on those watches, which means far less 2024 examples are entering the market. This is great news for those looking to buy one brand new at their AD, as the availability should improve. Otherwise, if you're looking to pick one up under retail price, you'll have to look at the previous reference 326993. Alright, let's jump into the Sea Dweller range and start with the steel 43mm reference 126600 with a retail price of £11,650. A brand new one does sell for above the retail price, however these are relatively slow to sell, possibly due to the larger size, which is harder to pull off unless you have a bigger wrist. Most people opt for the smaller, slimmer, and less expensive Submariner. With this in mind, dealers will offer around the list price for that watch. The steel and gold version costs $16,450, and 2024 pieces are few and far between in the market, as you'd lose money selling that watch. The two-tone model is one of the slowest sellers because it has a narrow appeal in the overall market. But if you love that watch, go 1 or 2 years old and you can find an example well under the retail price. This brings us to the Deepsea, which are Rolex's most hardcore dive watches, coming in at 44 and even 50mm in the challenge. The regular black dial has a retail price of $12,450 and can be found at or just above that in the pre-owned market, so you will get less than list for that watch if you sell it to a dealer. The more popular James Cameron with the blue and black gradient dial is a touch more expensive at RRP at $12,720. and does sell for a relatively small premium on the secondary market from around $13,500. Again, dealers will pay around or just less than list for a brand new 2024 piece. The latest full yellow gold Deepsea comes in at £47,500. My prediction is that Rolex will manufacture these in limited numbers and use the model to generate interest around the brand, but don't intend to sell high volumes. Because they're a 2024 novelty, they are trading above retail price in the high 50s, but there are very few in the market. We haven't seen one yet at Watch Trader, and there aren't many people calling up asking for that watch right now. The 50mm titanium challenge costs $22,350 brand new, but like the Yacht-Master 42 titanium, they're extremely rare and trade way above the RRP in the high 30s and above. This isn't a watch that people tend to wear. I think it's a collector's piece and a marketing tool for Rolex. Finally, let's take a look at the Daytona, this time the two-tone models. This can be configured in steel and yellow gold only, and there are 4 dial options to choose from: champagne, white, black, and black with diamond markers. The 3 standard dials cost $17,800 at retail, and the diamond dial comes in at $19,500. This is reflected in the pre-owned market, with the diamond dial trading above the others from around $24,000. Dealers will bid around or less than list price for these models, but one thing to note is that you can pick up these steel and gold Daytonas for less than an all-steel model, which is kind of crazy, but that's just the market for this model. One of the key trends identified is that 2024 dated full precious metal and two-tone models are entering the market in far lower numbers, now that a large proportion of them sell for less than the retail price. This is great news if you're on the waiting list for one of these watches at your AD, as availability should improve with reduced wait times. If you want to go straight to the pre-owned market, you can pick up excellent examples at a notable discount if you look for watches that are 1 or 2 years old. If you want to buy or sell a luxury watch, head to watchtrader.co.uk. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop it a like and consider subscribing to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.